Welcome to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herrmann, a leading expert in professional coaching, clinical hypnosis, and energy clearing. Lois is an award-winning author of Chronicles of Hope. She has decades of experience in advanced hypnosis techniques, has conducted highly effective success coaching programs that have helped clients discover ways to achieve success, empower themselves, their families, as well as holistic practitioners to expand their practices. Get ready to be empowered with your host, Lois Herrmann.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Inspiring Hope. I'm your host, Lois Herrmann, and I'm here to inspire you with positive messages and help you navigate the stress of your world at this time of great disruption. When we focus our thoughts and energies on what is good in our lives, we create positive shifts that cause us to be more productive and more peaceful. As we lift our energy, we empower everyone around us. If we each do what we can to make small shifts in awareness, from healthy habits to kindness and simple happiness, we create ripples of hope. Join us as catalysts for positive change for our families, our communities, and our world at large. I hope you're inspired by today's show. And on these Chronicles Wednesdays, I've been reading the book Chronicles of Hope. Today I'd like to take a little pause and give you a little background about this book. This is an inspiring hope for humanity. This book is about giving you a roadmap of hope with guidelines for life. And in our world right now, we're dealing with a vibrational crisis of negative energy. What I'd like to share with you through this book series, is a roadmap for hope and guidelines for life, because together we can be catalysts for positive change. Would you not agree that our world is in crisis right now? Even before this COVID-19 situation, we've had a lot of anger, hate in our political and social scenes. We've had hurricanes, tornadoes, and wildfires. Our climate is changing. There's floods and famine. We've got the extreme fear of terrorism and shootings. And there's also the personal issues with addictions, suicides, cancer, other diseases such as Lyme and other allergies. And people are giving up hope. They're frustrated. They're living in fear. What happens then is we have a human energy that ends up in crisis. We end up in a feeling of overwhelm, with frustration. We get stuck in fear. We end up with sleep issues from all that mind junk and the things that we've been watching, be it on the news or in the media, or even our choices for entertainment, causes us to have more anger, more emotional pain, which then leads us to overeating, drinking, smoking, other addictions, causes us to be anxious and confused, distracted and worried. Then we end up mad, sad, or stressed and depressed. Overall, it creates low-level energy. It creates poor health. What can we do? Because we are vibrational energy beings. Vibrational energy is cosmic. It goes across the universe. It's planetary. The planets these energies are around us. We're alive. We, as humans, are part of it all. We're stardust. Earth itself is energy. The land is energy. The plants grow and they fade and they grow. Everything is cyclic. The water is energy. The water that we drink has energy to it. Dr. Emoto did a wonderful experiment with water crystals, where he used crystals where he took water and he would either speak to the water itself, or he would paste signs on the water. One, for instance, that said hope, and another glass he would write or say hate. Then he would actually look at the crystals after a while under a microscope. The hope or love or positive energy water that he spoke to formed beautiful, amazing crystalline shapes. The one that he yelled at or said hate was like mucky mud. It was awful. So if water responds to emotions, what do you think we do as energetic beings, us humans? What do you think we do when we're dealing and we're bombarded with fear and negative energy? Because we, humans, are energetic beings. There's such a thing as toroidal fields around us. Many people see them as our auras, the energy around us. Then there's the chakras, the energy centers that are within our bodies, that are usually, people talk about the 7 energy centers, starting with the crown chakra, the brow chakra, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral chakra, and root chakra. Each one of these needs to be vibrating in alignment in order for our bodies to be vital. And then there's all of this magnetic energy around us. There's a great book that I reference oftentimes called Power versus Force. And in this book, Dr. David Hawkins actually quantifies the energy on a logarithmic scale, the energy of emotions, with 1,000 being consciousness versus the lowest level energy, guilt and shame, resonate at 30 and 50. So when we are resonating in the energy of fear and anger, what happens is our energy levels, our vibrational energy is very low. And that, when we are in that level of energy, everything we look at, everything resonates at that energy. If we could pull our energy up to a higher level energy, such as one of hope, which is more like 200, then we have a possibility to shift our energy, and then all of a sudden, hopeful solutions are all around us. We're now looking at the lens of life through the energy of hope. So as we shift our energy, it makes a huge difference. So what can we do? What can we do to be a catalyst for positive change? Well, let's inspire hope for ourselves and other people. Because where there is hope, there is faith. Where there is faith, miracles happen. I'm a huge believer in miracles. I've been a Course in Miracles follower for many, many years. And you are listening to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herrmann. And this is Chronicles Wednesday, where I'm talking mostly about the messages that came to me through this series of sessions. And my mission is to share them with you. So, in so doing, I want to tell you a little bit about me. Who am I? Well, my initial background was in diagnostic imaging. I am a pioneer in the field of diagnostic ultrasound. Started in the mid-70s. I actually have patents in my name with systems design. So I worked as a corporate trainer. I worked developing systems and traveling internationally. So I've seen a lot, experienced a lot, had a fabulous career. And that 40-year career ended about 8 years ago. I had already been on a journey of investigating hypnosis to help myself and my children when I went through a very intense trauma some years ago, probably about 30 years ago now, which led me to feel really comfortable using hypnosis. I actually would offer to my peers at work, would you like to try some of this cool stuff I've been learning? And I was so fascinated by how well it worked that I knew one day when I retired, I would pursue it full time. And that's what I did. About 8 years ago, I left my high-pressure corporate job to open my office as a hypnotist. And in that process, I ended up writing my first book called Spirits of Amoskeag. One of the things that I kept under the radar for a long time was the fact that I do spiritual-based work. So if you were to come and see me, you could actually communicate with Jesus, your angels, or maybe your sweet grandmother that passed over. And in the Spirits of Amoskeag, I ended up communicating with many of the children that had been, shall we say, taken out of mills. If they had been injured, they were basically euthanized. So I promised them I would tell their story, and that's the story of the Spirits of Amoskeag. That book brought me out of the closet as a spirit communicator, which is a large part of what I do. And then I now am on another journey to inspire hope and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So my hypnosis practice is what I call mind, body, spirit based. I work on all levels. I consider that the mind, that analytical part of our mind, is that conscious mind, is really only about 8%. The subconscious is the storehouse of every memory we've ever had, including genetic memory and other types of past life memory or other memories. As a transpersonal hypnotist, I explore all of these because I connect people with their wise mind, the superconscious mind. So I work mind, body, and spirit. And my spiritual-based sessions are amazing because people can communicate with angels of loved ones and do past life clearings or healings. I do a lot of energy clearing negative energies from around clients and earthbound spirits. I kind of help them. It's kind of like finding a lost child at Walmart. I basically help them find their way into what we call the light. And it's a very gentle and sweet and helpful process. I was trained by priests in the techniques that I use many, many years ago. It's always an adventure. I love what I do, and I pretty much operate what I call under the radar. So then, out of the clear blue, a couple of years ago, comes this client, this amazing engineer, scientist kind of guy that had issues with sleep. He comes to see me. Now, if you were to see me, I would guide you into trance and you would communicate with your passed over loved ones or whomever you wanted to because it's your journey. My job is to be the facilitator on this journey. Well, along comes Gary and he goes into trance and these amazing wise ones tend to start speaking through him to me. And I'm thinking, what is this? They basically are saying, the earth is in crisis. We need your help. Because what they said is, there will come a time in the not too distant future when civilization will balance on the edge of survival. The future is not written, but trends can be seen. If humans continue, if they do not learn from their past, they will suffer the same fate as previous civilizations. Well, what the bleep? Let me ask you, what would you do if all of a sudden somebody is giving you this information and they're saying we need your help to save humanity? Let me just ask, what would you do? Well, typical me, I tend to be the type that just says yes, and I ended up on a fascinating journey where I've met a series of wise ones called the collective. The first ones that came through called themselves the Creators. The first ones, there are 8 and they are 1. Their children are the ones that came after them. The Creators are more professorial, and the children are the ones that are what we would consider the ancient gods of mythology, what we now call archangels. Their children's children are the ones that are able to incorporate into human life, such as Jesus and Buddha, Lao Tzu, and some of the other amazing prophets. Then there are the old souls, and I'm told I'm an old soul. Some of us have been around many, many times, and there are angels that are helping. We have both incarnated angels and we have angels in the spirit world, and they are ever here to assist us. The challenge is we must learn to ask. So our Mother Earth needs our help. This is what they're saying. And our question is, what can we do? I've created beautiful videos. I have books, podcasts. My YouTube channel is littered with all kinds of wonderful videos and presentations that you can go to hear more, see more about this. My mission is to get these messages to you. So the Creators are the historians. They're the first ones. And in the first book of Chronicles of Hope, the Creators tell us about the history, the formation of the universe, the creation of Earth. Did you know that Earth came from Mars? Life was first on Mars. Mars was hit by a big meteor and a spark of life came to Earth. So does that mean that we're all Martians? I don't know. I just ask questions. You're listening to Inspiring Hope, Chronicles Wednesday with Lois Herrmann. And you can find me at www.loisherrmann.com. And while you're there, please click on the link and subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's also a website specifically for the Chronicles, chroniclesofhope.net. And it's full of all kinds of amazing information. Please go there and see what all we've created. I have an amazing group of people that I refer to as Team Hope that are helping me to get these messages out there. So the uncreators, these historians, gave us the history of ancient civilizations and mysteries about these the pyramids and the other structures on Earth. And they gave us the history of humanity and of where some of these civilizations have gone that just disappeared. So they asked us to tell people what they want to know and then lead them to where they need to know, to what they need to know. And what they're telling us is that the Earth is out of balance, that we live on one of the most beautiful planets in the universe. It's very rare to have a beautiful blue-green planet that we live on. They told us of the 5 great extinctions and specifically what happened with each of these extinctions. And they're saying we are facing the next great apocalypse. Change is happening as we speak. We must adapt. We must act now. Gaia, the spirit of our Earth, is very concerned about her humans. And she needs us to take notice, to help her. She can clear up her Earth. She needs us to help her. And if that's not evidenced by what's happened during this time where we have shut down everything, where all of a sudden the people in India can see the Himalayas from their front door for the first time in 30 years, the sky is clearing, the water is cleaning up, the dolphins are swimming in Venice. It's been an amazing journey of healing. Mother Earth, Gaia, can heal herself very quickly if we stop doing the damage that we're doing to her and also to us. What the uncreators tell us is that humans are out of balance. There's too much negative. And they talk to us about specifically the types of negative energy feeders that bring our energy down. These low-level energies serve to drain us. And I ask a lot of questions because I do a lot of work with these entities and energies. So in the book, I'm just simply asking questions to help my clients, and they give us some very amazing answers. The key, though, is that we must bring back the positive. They tell us about young souls, the ones that have had few incarnations. They have a lower vibrational energy, and they're here to learn and grow, and they're experiencing life, and they're having all kinds of great fun, but they also lack discipline, and they create chaos. And what we're being told is there are too many young souls on life that tend to follow along and get emotional and overly zealous and overly expressive and create way too much chaos. They're kind of like kids in a candy shop. Too much candy, and then they're just hyper. Versus the old souls, like me, who've had many incarnations. I personally have recall of at least 50 of my past lives. But anyway, we're told that we vibrate at a higher level and we have larger auras. We're here because we seek enlightenment. We like our peace and quiet. We have lessons that we've learned, so we're here as teachers and guides. However, if we don't take care of ourselves, we can become like beacons of light that attract the negative energies and cause us to be depleted. Many of these people are spiritually aware. They are the empaths, the light workers. These are the people who are overly sensitive to the world around them. You know the type. Maybe you are one. My job has been to help teach them how to clear their negative energy and maintain positive energy by connecting to their guides and discovering their mission. These are the people who come to me saying, I know I'm here for a reason. I need to find out why. So it's all about quality of energy versus quantity of energy. Helping people to discover why they are here is one of the most fascinating parts of my work. Because we are multi-dimensional beings. The spiritual part of us is that eternal being. This is the one that comes back every time when we're reincarnated. And we can tell a lot about our spiritual essence in the auric energy field. That is the energy that is around our body, supposedly around our body, and what we're told. Actually, that is who we really are, is that aura is truly our spiritual being. It can't fit inside the body, so the body fits inside of it, if you will. The emotional memories are the ones that there's a little bit of interesting conflict about this. Emotions are memories that we do bring from past lives. Many children will come into this life with memories of what happened to them. Many of us have intuitive memories of why do I have that feeling. I know for myself, I have a distinct feeling of not being comfortable in a church, for instance, that has a crucifix. I love going to churches where I can see Jesus with his hands open, because that's how I remember him. I was there at the time that he walked the earth. I remember the crucifixion. So when I see the crucifix, it really, really hits my heart hard. I would prefer to remember him as that charismatic, amazing teacher that he was. Those memories get stuck in our emotional being, and they cause us to react in different ways. Then there's also the mental, intellectual part of us. This is the master creator in us, because what we think about, we create. Remember, I was talking about those low-level energies of fear and guilt and shame? If we keep our mind focused on that, we create more of that. We can shift our mental energy up to a higher level, then we can create a higher level of awareness. Then we can move into the energy of peace, acceptance, love, and joy. Then there's the physical, this physical body that we drive in this life. The physical body is the one that is basically our barometer that we experience life through. But this is one we shed each life. The mental and emotional parts of the mental emotional bodies we carry through from life to life. The spiritual, though, is our true self that sustains for all of our lives. And the key is to maintain balance across all of these levels. And how do we do that? Well, our body is truly a barometer, as I said. Have you ever walked into some place and you just felt icky? You just knew something was off? That's your body wisdom telling you, pay attention. Something's not right. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see an exercise there, a kinesiology exercise that I share, where it shows how the body responds to truth versus fiction. When you know something is true, you are strong. When you hear a lie or say a lie, your body goes weak. When you think a positive thought, your body is physically strong. When you think a negative thought, when you send hate, anger, or venom to somebody else, guess where it resides? It drains you. The energy responds in your body. That shift happens. Pay attention. Pay attention to what's important. Because when you're out of balance, that is when you're most apt to get sick. And there are so many different types of sickness. When your energy is lowered, your immune system takes a dive. Then you are more receptive to getting sick from any sort of germ, virus, bacteria. Keep yourself strong. Keep your mind positive to keep yourself in balance. I teach my clients to clear their negative energies. I give them exercises, what I call daily spiritual hygiene. I say you wouldn't go out of the house or even go through the day without brushing your teeth, would you? No. So you want to practice good spiritual hygiene as well, keeping your energy strong and clear. One of the other things that I really encourage people to do is to ask for assistance. Ask, believe, and receive. But if you don't ask, you just don't get. You are listening to Inspiring Hope, the Wednesday Chronicles with Lois Herrmann. I'm here sharing the backstory, the summary of this Chronicles of Hope series, and I am reading it every Wednesday. However, I thought I would give you an opportunity to hear more about what the messages are. So, with the spiritual hygiene, what I teach people is to clear the negative. Sometimes all of a sudden feel like, ooh, I just feel down or angry, or I don't even know why. Well, you can actually take all of that energy, and my guides will often bring to my clients a box, and they'll say, put them in the box, give them to me. Give those fear thoughts to me. Let me take them. Put those energies in a box, and poof, they disappear. Then you want to glow that inner light. Imagine a beautiful glowing, oftentimes it's a white or a golden light that you glow in your solar plexus, the middle of your belly. Glow that through your whole body, all the way down to the tips of your toes and the tips of your nose. Glow this beautiful golden light. Then imagine standing in the middle of a beautiful waterfall of shimmering light that clears the outside of you, the aura, so that you're clear. Your energy gets boosted. Then zip yourself in what I call your protective bubble that goes with you wherever you go, kind of like a spacesuit, to keep your energy vital and strong. Then on the outside, you put a silvery sheen. It's kind of a protective coating. So when you do that every day, you keep your energy strong. And I do it especially if all of a sudden I've encountered somebody who's intensely negative, and I pick up their negativity, because I tend to be an empath too. I actually had a whole Sunday show with Anne Bordelot, who talked about empaths and how we gave a lot of tips on how to keep your energy strong if you are a sensitive person. So there are many people who are helping others to keep their self strong and healthy. And as a hypnotist, I do a lot of this clearing work using hypnosis. You go into trance, I guide you. My job, my commitment to you is to be the guide. I help you get where you need to go. I'm the scribe. I track your journey. I'm also the protector. I do not believe that anybody ever has to re-experience trauma. So when someone gets to the point where they're emotional, I just have them put that on a screen, observe what is happening, and then I help them to shift. We can't change history, but we can change how we feel about it. So when we shift the energy, person by person, bringing positive energy in, we can heal our earth. We can heal the universe. So what can you do? Think about that. What can you do to shift your energy to be more positive in your own world? You are listening to Inspiring Hope, Wednesday Chronicles with Lois Herrmann. And I'm here to share with you the messages that came to me several years ago, and I was asked to get them out to you. So that's what I'm doing, one person at a time. And in this process, from book 1, we were given what we call the Roadmap of Hope. And there are basically 8 points, and I'll go through them now. The first is to honor our earth, respect Gaia, the spirit of our earth, connect with nature, conserve, reduce, honor all living things, all of the animals on this planet. Everything we do interacts and causes a ripple effect. Just like I was talking about, we are all homebound right now, and what's happened is because we don't have all the pollution, the animals, the earth, the water, the air, is responding. People comment about seeing the sky so blue for the first time. Gaia is an amazing mother. She keeps us. She gives us everything we need. Our water, our food, our animals, our sunshine. Well, I suppose that would come from Father Sky. Or anyway, we as humans need to get back to honoring, respecting, and protecting our beautiful planet. As such, we also need to care for this physical body that we were given, this vehicle that we drive through life. Many people take better care of their car than they do their body. Well, this is your car and you only have one. You can get a new car, but you can't get a new body. So we need to make healthy choices. Healthy choices for what we eat, what we watch, what we listen to, who we're around. We need to change our habits and choose healthy habits. Eat healthy foods. We need to get some sound sleep. Everybody has different needs for sleep, but you need to get the sleep that you need. With a peaceful and rested being, you make healthier, more focused choices. And yes, we need to move our bodies more. I have a good friend who's a chiropractor who said, sitting is the new smoking. Many of us sit all day. I'm just as guilty. I'm sitting at the computer right now. We need to plan time to exercise, to move our body, to keep it healthy. It was meant, designed to move. So we are told by the Communicator that all diseases have a cure. Yet the cure is unique to each individual. Working with a group of natural medicine types of practitioners, we have a myriad of different things that we help people with, different techniques and different methods, and each person requires a different recipe for healing, if you will. Another one of the roadmap points is to create with joy. We are told that we are our own master creators. If we keep our mind stimulated and do uplifting things, if we continue to learn and grow and get creative and achieve what we love, sparking that creative energy keeps those creative juices flowing. We need to recognize and appreciate that that's what we're here to do. Everybody has their own unique things that they do that they love to do. And I encourage people to do what you can't not do. I love that. That came from Anne a couple of weeks ago in our show, and I really have adopted that. Do what you can't not do, and do things that give you joy. Because as you create, you raise your vibrational energy. Think about that. Because that stimulates uplifting things. So continue to do what gives you joy. And raise that vibrational energy of yours. And how you do that? As a hypnotist, I very well know, by redirecting your thoughts. If you focus on all that's wrong in the world, you're going to draw more wrong thoughts to you. So you've got to learn ways to de-stress, to redirect your thoughts, to meditate through prayer, through asking the guides, your wise guides, for assistance. They're ever around, but they cannot interfere with our free will. We must do what we can to ask them for assistance and help, and notice when we clear our mind, we notice when these messages come through. The other thing that we can do to raise vibrational energy is to smile, is to laugh. We are vibrational energy, and you know, when you see somebody smiling, it's one of the best things. It causes you to want to smile too. It's contagious, and it's a good contagion. Because what we are is what we think, say, and do. Do what gives you joy. Raise your vibrational energy. Find things that keep you moving in a healthy, happy direction. And know, all of these guides have said there is plenty. Share what you can. appreciate what is and contribute your gifts. And sometimes your gift is not necessarily finance, but it's a gift of walking the dog for a friend. Maybe it's a gift of spending time listening. Your gifts are unique to you. And again, it's not always about money. But if we contribute what we can to one another, if we share with each other, then we will feel connected. We're told time and again that there is no need for scarcity. There is enough for everyone. We need to come to a place of balance, of each of us sharing and contributing, and coming from a place of respect for one another. One of the most intriguing things that we were told is the difference between wanting, believing, and knowing. Wanting is actually negative, because when it leaves you with a feeling of want. Believing gives you a sense of thinking that something is possible. But knowing is the best. Knowing how things can, should, and be is the strongest. And when you know in your heart you can do a thing, then you will do a thing. Knowing how the world should be generates the strongest positive force. Do uplifting activities and simple things that create joy in your life, and think positive, grateful, and hopeful thoughts while doing them. Do what you do because it's the right thing to do, not because of what you're going to get for it. The Anquetas tell us it's not why you are here that is important. It's what you do when you are here that has all the value. So someone that we're familiar with, the Dalai Lama, I love this quote. If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. That little thing will keep you awake all night. So how will you make a difference? What can you do? Think about that. You are listening to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herrmann. This is the Chronicles Wednesday edition, where I'm sharing more specifically about the Chronicles of Hope series. And today, I'm giving you an overview of the 2 books. So what I just spoke about was book 1. That was published last August, and it's out there in audio form. And oh my goodness, I highly encourage you to listen to that. Andrew did a fabulous job capturing the essence of the voice of the Anquetas. It really, really makes you feel like you were in the room with me during these sessions while I was asking the questions, and these wise ones came through and gave the answers. So how will you make a difference? Well, in the second book, a whole series of different energies came through, and they gave us what we are calling the guidelines for life. They felt that humans needed some instructions. The first book is sounding the alarm. We really are in a challenging place, and we know that because of what's going on right now with all of this uncertainty in our world. But the second book that's coming out, I'm finishing it up as we speak, these are the ones that were right here, that lived with us, that are closer to us. The first one that came through was the god Ray from Atlantis. His message was about being positive, encourage truth, honesty, integrity, and morality. He gave us a lot of interesting detail about the lost civilization of Atlantis. And he said ethics and morality define a civilization. And we have gone down a really bad path. We need to get back to that type of thinking. The second being that came through, many of you know as Jesus. His message was to be optimistic, practice kindness, connection, and compassion, encourage one another. He asked, what happened to my message? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you is a very simple message. You are all brothers and sisters to one another. Treat each other with kindness, care, and compassion. That will go a long way toward healing the world. He was amazing. I was so honored to be able to have an audience with Jesus. The next one that came through was Aurora, the goddess of the dawn. And she encouraged us to be accepting, embrace sharing, I call it familyhood, forgiveness, and through that, we achieve peace of mind. She encouraged us to walk away from anger. There's too much anger, hate, and blame in our world. Walk away from it. We are all one. That's a common theme through this whole book. We are all one. Another archangel came through, the Archangel Samael, who said to be understanding, establish growth, discipline, and discernment. Protect yourselves. He brings great challenge because he feels that challenges in life create strength. Diamonds don't become diamonds if coal is run through feathers. It's under pressure that we grow, and it's through this growth that we come to accept and become more enlightened. Another very interesting being that came through was the energy of the universe itself. Very profound. The universe says you all are one energy. You need to share. You need to have more empathy, more connection, be in community with one another, and truly enjoy each other, because that is who you are. You are all one in humanity. It doesn't matter what color, what language, what size, what shape. It's just like different flowers. They're all part of that same genre. Different colors, different shapes, different fragrances. We are all one. And when we can get to that point, we will know that we are here to connect and to help each other. And then, of course, last but not least in the sharing of this series was Mother Gaia herself. And she says, be with nature. We need to cultivate mindfulness, healthy choices, conscientiousness, and realize the interconnectedness of every living being. As we conserve and consider what we're doing, we create a new awareness. We need to be mindful that what we are doing now is affecting our children and our grandchildren. The Native American culture believes in the law of 7 generations, where what we do now must be beneficial to the 7th generation forward. What if we all lived that way and we made decisions, we made choices based on the law of 7 generations? We must get back to making choices for our planet, for the animals, for the foods that we eat, so that we are healthy and we can continue to embrace and nurture Gaia to be more helpful. And then there are the archangels that came through, and their message to us is to be humble, welcome awareness of them. They don't wish to be worshipped. They're happy to assist and give us guidance. And when we know in our heart and our mind that they are there helping us, it's so easy just to reach out and say, can you please help me with this decision? Can you lift this pain? Can you lift this sadness? Can you help me to be the best I can be? And they will be there. We must ask, though. Many people have gotten away from the power of prayer. And you know, prayer is not necessarily a routine dictated mantra that you say, although you can do that. Prayer is just a walk in the woods and acknowledging all that is wonderful. Prayer is saying thank you. Thank you for all you have. Prayer is being kind to one another, living a life of gentleness, humbleness and peace and asking for assistance. Many people still do embrace specific religious practices, and that's wonderful. A lot of people have gotten away from religion, but I would encourage you, even if you're away from religion, go back into prayer. It can be done through drumming or singing or chanting or meditation or dancing. It could be just a way of connecting with the unseen world in a positive way, because we are never alone. They are always there to assist us and guide us. But they cannot interfere with our free will. We must learn to ask. You are listening to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herrmann. This is the Wednesday Chronicles Wednesday edition, where I am featuring the messages that came to me through the Chronicles of Hope. In this second book, we are calling it The Collective, because they were such a collective of different beings that came through, and that's what they call themselves, the collective. So we are nearing the end of the editing phase. We'll have this out to you in a little while. It takes a little process to get a book out. It's not as simple as just uploading it to Amazon, but we are in the process. And meanwhile, I'm sharing as much as I can do with you right now. So, to finalize what the Uncreators said, they said to be grateful, express appreciation, acknowledgement, and hope. And one of the best ways to do that is start the day with 10 grateful thoughts. Every morning before you get out of bed, you don't have to practice a formal meditation practice. If you do that, that's great. But all you have to do, what if you just laid there in bed and thought of the 10 things you're grateful for? And it could be something as simple as the sunlight shining through your window. It could be as simple as the cat purring on your feet. Or it could be the soft pillow, your favorite pillow under your head. Could be the smell of your partner laying there next to you. Start the day with 10 grateful thoughts. And in the end of the evening, as you drift off to sleep, say thank you to these amazing guides. Thank you for the universe. Thank you for Mother Gaia for the best thing that happened. It's very interesting as you go through that list of good things in your day. It's amazing. Instead of ruminating over the woulda, shoulda, coulda, as I call it, think about the best things that happened and say thank you, thank you, thank you for the best thing. Your mind will relax and you'll drift off into a wonderfully peaceful sleep. Be grateful, be happy, and share a simple smile, because smiles are contagious. So be the change you wish to see in the world. It's important. Each of us can do what we can. The Uncreators tell us, plan a way to bring in higher vibrational energy. It only takes one spark. When I ask them, who am I? How can I get this message out? I love what I do, but I have no desire to be famous. I just am simply sharing what they brought to me, because that's my promise, my commitment. Plan a way to bring in higher vibrational energy. It only takes one spark. So Book 1, The Uncreators, Chronicles of Hope, was published last 8/8/2019. Book 2 will be published by 8/8/2020. We're hoping to have the ebook finished before then, and we'll let you know when that's out and about. And we will also plan to do the audiobook. But I encourage you to get the audiobook of The Uncreators right now, because it's fabulous. Yes, I'm reading it every Wednesday, but I don't do it justice the way that our wonderful Andrew did. So ask yourself, how does this impact me? What is one thing I can do? What can I do to make a difference in our world? What can you do? One of the things you could do is join us at chroniclesofhope.net. That's the website. Click on the community, because right now it's once a month, we are meeting together and sharing and inspiring each other. We're exploring the insights of this book and discussing how we can support and grow each other to sustain positivity and encourage hope. We invite you to join us, Chronicles of Hope community, on Thursday evening. It's the second Thursday of every month. There are other opportunities. If you're a Facebook person, you can go to Chronicles of Hope, the messages, and we post a lot of the sayings and other messages on that site. There's also our wonderful YouTube channel. We're on Instagram and Twitter and all of those things. And be sure to listen in at the Inspiring Hope radio shows. On Sunday morning, I'm doing the Inspiring Hope show where I feature a very special guest who has their own inspirational messages. And I am delighted to shine the light on them because we need some good news, wouldn't you agree? That's my commitment to you, is to bring you some good news. So you are listening to Lois Herrmann of Lois Herrmann and Associates, and I am a board-certified hypnotist. I do hypnosis sessions in person and distance session. I've been doing Zoom sessions for years, so I can reach out to anybody across the world. I've done a lot of work with people in India and Germany. It doesn't matter where you are. I also have personal sessions in my office in Nashua once we get the clearance to go back. I do a lot of personal and professional coaching, and I do a lot of training. I love to teach, love to train, and one of my favorite things to train is other hypnotists to do the energetic clearing and alignment that I have been blessed to learn over this many, almost 30 years now. That's an online didactic training program that starts in February. So you can still, if you know a hypnotist that wants to learn, you can register at loisherman.com. So you can find me also at loisherman.com. You can, if you're a Facebook person, I have a separate Facebook page, Lois Herrmann Success Coach. And again, I'm really excited about my YouTube channel. We've done a lot of work to put a lot of things out there for you. Go to my website, loisherman.com, click on the subscribe, and be sure to click on the bell so that you get notified anytime we put something up there. I definitely have Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn, all those things. But meanwhile, I just want you to know that there is only one hope for humanity. One. That is you. So please join me. All of these messages I'm bringing to you to help you, to help us. Because when we learn to embrace these essential guidelines to live our lives with intention, we will create a healthy, thriving civilization for which to be proud. We will begin to establish a foundation of hope for our future, our children's future, and our children's children's future. The universe said, "You have been granted audiences with the oldest spirits within me. Listen to those words and pass them on. Take them into your own heart and try to get others to do the same." I am blessed to have been the person to have received these messages, and I am blessed and honored to be able to give them, to share them with you. An ancient poet by the name of Rumi said, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." You are listening to Inspiring Hope with Lois Herrmann. This is Chronicles Wednesday. I'm here every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock with a featured guest, and I'm here every Wednesday. Meanwhile, let me leave you with this. The time will soon be here when my grandchild will long for the cry of a loon, the flash of a salmon, the whisper of spruce needles, or the screech of an eagle, but he will not make friends with any of these creatures. And when his heart aches with longing, will he curse me? Have I done all to keep the air fresh? Have I cared enough about the water? Have I left the eagle to soar in freedom? Have I done everything I could to earn my grandchild's fondness? Chief Dan George, Salil Otooth. Meanwhile, look up, stay positive, and be the light in someone's day. God bless.